Is there anybody that we can speak to in town that might have knowledge of anything crazy like this?
Here's my recommendation. I'm going to pull the camera back, and you guys can talk about it in the Discord chat about what your plans are, because you're going to need...
No. I already got my plans. To start off with, Cort...
I'm still moving the camera away to Ulhime. If you want to muster up an idea and you want to do it in front of the cam, that's fine, but I still actually have to give Ronald a chance here. I'm not just going to let him run down a single hallway and talk to a creepy fucking Ruby method.
I like that.
No, that's perfectly fine. So, as Jakob sits and ponders as to what resources are available to them, the camera pans back into the red-tinted world of the Ruby.
Have who hit thunk?
Oh no.
Yes. Let him do the thing. He's doing the big thunk. All right, sir, back over to you. Ronald.
Yes.
Xanderino.
Yes.
It's you. Ulhime.
Hit me.
You have seen the answer scrivened in the ruby floor. Just as yes, a myriad of scratches slaked upon the floor, repeatedly. The dangling body of the man still remains. You hear his cacophonous, echoing cries of pain. Again, you have no idea how long this has been happening, but you know that it's been a long, long while. You have 11 hulls. As far as you know, you have 11 more chances. At least your first guess was that. You choose a hull?
Yeah, I said I was skipping the one just since we just finished the first one. I was skipping the next hull and then going to the third one. So
Okay.
It's essentially like one. I'm doing it on numbers.
Sure, I got you. You begin to move down the hall. Is there any method, anything that you'd like to do here? Are you trying to spot? Are you hoping to just walk and call? What are your thoughts?
You know what? Even before then, I seen where he marked the first set of where he marked the first answer, because the question I asked was, does he know the way out? And he answered yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look around the floor and see if
you didn't ask if he knows the way out. You asked if
I asked if he knew how to unbind him, right?
if he knew how to free the man.
Yeah, and he says yes. So I have to word my question in a way that's going to give me an actual answer. It can't be so is it open-ended, right?
Correct. Just think about that for a second. Guys, I know that a couple of you guys are probably going to have to bounce out tonight. Talking specifically to the audience, if you guys have to watch the VOD, that's totally fine. We're not going to be taking a break tonight. We're just going to push on through. We've probably got about another 40 minutes, I think, 45 minutes. Maybe even all the way up to the top of the hour. So, if you have to stay, I'm happy to have you. If you have to go, I'm sad to see you go. Camera focus is back in.
So keeping that in mind with the open-ended questions, now that I know what I'm looking for, I also do want to try to see if I can keep track of like his blinking eyes. Not sure if that's going to even be a thing, but something to keep track of. And then knowing how he travels, making sure that I'm checking the floors and the side of each wall to keep track of that. But I want to start my search first on the floor to see if after he scratched it, if he might have like dragged his hand or something into a direction that might show where he went.
Okay. You intend to continue following, making sure that anything that may pop out at you, anything that may resonate within your field of vision, anything here might help. What's different,
Yes.
that no matter how far you go, you don't see anything. Before, you relied on your sight. You can't do that here. Nothing is out of the norm. Nothing seems to alert you to there being anything out of the norm.
So then, at least in this room, the initial pathway through is a guess. Then, well, let me see if I can try to hear the sounds at least how he sounded. If I can hear that weird crackling of like how he was like when he talked, when he was walking. Do I hear any of that sound being displaced down any particular hallway as I kind of like...
Give me a perception. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, for now.
No. You don't. Bear in mind, this is challenging because it's like finding a needle, not in a haystack, but it's like finding a certain needle in a stack of needles.
Yeah. I mean, if I don't have the indicator, I'll continue down path 3 then. And this time I'm going to hang on to the right side wall.
Okay. You do just that. You push your body into the right side wall with a slight lean. This would be easier if you had arms, hands, anything to sort of give you that stretch. But nothing ekes out at you. Your eyes never lose sight of the floor, glancing to the walls periodically to see if there are any scratches. But nothing.
I'll keep going. I do want to see if it is possible. If I stop, I want to try to hear that pitter patter again. And then another thing would be, I don't know if like the walls are see-through, but if there's any way to see if I can catch that unusual glint that his eyes had, like to see if he might be watching me.
What are you focusing on though?
I'm gonna do the sound of that pitter patter, that unusual like stepping that he had.
Sure.
I want to try to listen for that as I go. Like, I'll go down like a couple of, I don't know, feet, miles. I'll travel a while before I start doing that.
Sure. Give me a perception. Wow, that's much better. You go on a few hundred feet, whatever it takes. You're constantly trying to feel and look around anything that may grant you an opportunity at discovering this figure again. Before you hear it, the sounding of what seems almost like cracked glass splitting. It would take an incredibly trained ear to pick this up. And you hear it. A split. A few halls down. You're not sure if it's the left or the right. But you know you've heard it a few halls down.
I'll keep walking, and then same thing. The moment I get to that spot where I feel like I heard it, I'll start looking for the scratches. If not the scratches, I want to see if I can catch his eyes, because I'm pretty sure he's watching me. So if I can find that glint, that'll probably be a lot easier for me.
There is nothing visible, but you've narrowed it down to a few hallways. You think it's 2. It could be 3, but you think it's 2.
Okay. I want to try something. Going towards the left side wall, I want to try kicking it to see if there's if it makes like a very distinct sound, to see like if it might be heavier if he's nearby. Kind of like if like when it starts like you know how when you knock on a wall and you can feel like it's dense or hollow on some sides. I want to try kicking as hard as I can to do that on one side, and then kicking the other side to see if there's like a slight distortion in that.
Sure. And you wind up and punt the wall again, and you listen, very intensely so. But nothing... There is no reverberation, there is no hollow noise that sort of bounces back or reverberates. It's just muted. It's sort of like punching or kicking a tree. There's the sound of your foot connecting, but it's just so heavy and so thick that it dampens it immediately. Maybe it's just the sheer density of it. Remember, Ruby is after all a stone.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if this is gonna make any sense, but could I use my form of stone cutting to try to figure out if there's like an irregularity in like the pathway at all?
I would give
Like-
you
like-
I would give you a circumstantial bonus if you're going by sight.
Yeah, I would see if he might not necessarily always leave scratches, but if there's some like unusual like indentation, like he's been somewhere. I mean, if he's Ruby himself, I'm assuming he might leave a different type of residue, or even like a portion, or he might even take a portion of himself with it. So there might be slight irregularities. So I want to try to look for that, not necessarily scratches, but like dips and maybe like slight mounds if he like leaves parts of himself, kind of like a residue kind of thing.
All right. Okay. Are you happy with that? Because if
I'll
you
try to
are,
use one more.
okay.
I'll try to yeah.
How many have you used now? Is that 2, 3?
This is my second.
Okay.
That was my second. Well, this will be my second one.
All right.
I'll hold with that one.
Sure. With your stone cunning, with your familiarity to stone, I've given you enough bonus at this point to dip just over. You were at a 50-50 shot. You don't seem to spot him, but you do manage to identify some different irregularities about this labyrinth. Not everything is so cut and dry at 90% angles, you know, the 90-degree turn that you were expecting. The walls, in their jagged nature, are not completely flat and smooth. You notice that they're rippled. The ripples seem to be distended and stretched over a vast distance, but you can see where it seems as if something had polished the stone in a way that it drove out depth in the grooves. It's odd to you. You can't really make much of it. Give me a health. Give me a heal. It doesn't make a lot of sense. The amount of work that it would take to polish Ruby down, it would wear most men to nothing. They wouldn't have arms. They wouldn't have hands, arms. They would be stumps for the amount of work that it took to carve and light this place. It doesn't make a lot of sense to you. But you're certain now that the grooves, the nooks, and the crannies, they're deliberate, that it's not just a place that was found like this.
Kind of taking that information and even being in like a hellish place like this, you see Ulhime like crack like a smile, like he just kind of grins and kind of nods to himself, and then he keeps walking, following this in this world, this natural tunneling that's occurring. He starts following those grooves. He then I'm assuming he then realizes that this is this creature's home, and much like any like tunnel worm or any creature of his homeland that was in the deep mines that he had watched over, he's pretty sure that this thing has a pattern, that it doesn't just go anywhere. This labyrinth may be vast, but there's like you said, there is a pathway that he's pretty sure he's now following, and that's what he's going to. He knows this creature's comfortable in these areas, and that's what he's trying to find. Those spots that he consistently kind of rubs up back and forth against because he's been traveling it so frequently.
Ulhime, you smile, and as these thoughts run rampant through your mind, thinking that you may have figured something out, you hear this. You're getting closer. I can hear you in your head. You speak so loudly.
As he finishes that, Ulhime, kind of looking up to the air, not really sure where the sound's coming from, just replies back, "And you have a heavy footprint." And he continues walking.
When you say that and you continue walking, you hear a... It's this bizarre, almost cackle-like laugh. The sound of glass or ruby being drug across itself.
Trudges on, keeps going.
Give me a perception. It's really good. Really good. You pass a few more halls. And now you know. It's hanging again to the left side. You hear that crack. You hear that... as it seems to scuttle off away.
Not even, like, it's not even a thing of, like, chasing him this time. It's just, it feels, like, natural. Like, he's like, okay, like, I'm already on the right path. There's no need for me to run down this sound. I know exactly where it's going. That like you said, so it's that hubris and confidence kind of building back up, that almost dwarven stubbornness kind of arousing from within. He's like, I know this stonework. Like, you're not hiding anymore.
Are you running by chance?
No, it's like I said, it's like a confident stride. Like, he's just like, yeah, I know where you're going.
Okay. You move with confidence and courtesy of your perception. Your bonus to stone cunning. You breached 40. Another DC that I had set. As you walk, your eyes quickly hit the walls as you're watching for this figure. You're looking for eyes. You're looking for a break in the pattern, something that you followed up to this point. And when you glance to the right wall, then back down, you see something strange. It's like a flash of imagery, something that you had seen before. Blackness in the ruby, and then as you blink and look back down, you look back up and it's gone. And then you take another few steps, looking to the left to see if you can see this figure. And on the left-hand side, the blackness seems to start swelling into an open, sort of like an oval that's been pursed very tightly. And then it's gone again. And every few steps, you walk and you see it opening again. And you can see a figure, a face, another figure, another face, humans. They fall very quickly as they follow like the body down, and you can see what looks to be the eyes of a child hugging onto the hip of one of the men. But the eyes continue to fall down to the hands, and you realize that you're looking through someone else's eyes. You see the hands of an older man, a much, much older man, and he's gripping very tightly onto a staff. Not out of fear, but out of habit, it seems. And when you glance from wall to wall, you see that the people around him seem to be happy, motivated. They don't seem threatened or afraid. You're catching glimpses of a past that is not yours.
He'll just kind of utter the words, "Spell Mason."
Getting closer. Closer.
Your foot falls one last time before you hear a smack and a crack. Do you turn?
Yeah.
When you turn around, you can see Memory. He's wall walking, moving into the next wall, and you just happen to catch his leg blanch in. What do you do?
Follow it.
What do you mean by follow it? You just gonna walk through the wall?
You're talking about he phased into the wall, or he
Yes.
like rounded the corner?
He phased into the wall.
Then I'll walk up to the wall, same thing, and look for that same little symbol.
Give me perception. Very good. Yeah, you are for certain. He was better at disguising it this time, but it's still not enough. You can point out the figure that seems to have molded its way deep into the stone.
As like it's Ulhime, like he already sees it, but just to see if he can irk this demon a little bit, he goes, "Oh, the impurity's right there," and he kind of pokes at it, like at the wall, exactly at him, like, and just kind of, or no, he can't. He kind of just butts his head to it.
Okay, sure. You
Come on out. I've already found you.
When you say that, you hear the chitter again, the clicking and the clacking. These ruby feet as they quickly press across the ruby floor as he comes out, and he almost like plops down, throwing a leg down and like cocking a leg up in the air, looking up at you, like leaning back on one mottled hand, like a puppet that was laying limp with a single leg draped up.
What do you mean, impurity? Memory is pure. Memory clear. Memory know all. Memory
knows you. Memory knows you. Memory feel you.
And let's see. Let's guess question.
Hurry, hurry. Impure memory have to find way out.
How do I free Serb our spell mason?
Memory's head sort of like falls back like a let down child, or like someone that was practicing something and they were waiting to watch the finale, right? And it just fails, so they're just like, ugh. So you ask this question, and Memory's head flies back.
Why? 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 Do you not like Memory? Memory like this game. And I play with you all time. We can play together. You and me. Memory. Unless you don't like Memory. Why you don't like Memory?
I have no quarrel with you, creature. But as you can see, and he kind of like shows himself, outside of answering some questions here and there, there's not really much I can do. So we will free Spell Mason for now.
You ask wrong question. You want free man. Free man kill Memory. You not like Memory. But
Memory not care.
And he walks out. This time there's no running. Just stands back up and fades through the ruby like it was water. Gelatin.
He'll turn around to assume that once he kind of rounds that next corner, he'll be back at the beginning.
And you are.
He looks down for the answer.
From the blood of families not your own.
And that's all it says?
Etched again in the floor, just below yes, from the blood of families not your own.
This has to do with the town's lineage then. Alrighty. I'll walk down another corridor. This time, I mean, figuring out that he kind of has this unusual shape, like the way he shapes the walls and stuff. I would be more attentive towards that and not necessarily just scratches anymore. Even so much the that kind of a dark tinge that he leaves to see if he's even moving.
Okay.
I'll start following it like that to see if that makes it much easier, which I'm assuming it does.
So you walk on again for a while, seeing anything that may sort of reach out at your field of vision. Give me perception. Nothing. Nothing reaches out at all.
All right. So seeing this, I'm assuming that at least while he's in this center chamber, he doesn't start his burrow until he's a little further in.
Perhaps. It's a guess.
Yeah. I'll make my way into corridor number 5.
Okay.
And once again, start focusing on the left side wall. This seems to be a pretty common pattern of his, of being on the left.
Sure. Why do you think that is? Why do you think being on the left is a pattern? Just because you found it that way, or because of another reason?
No, because if he's saying it's a memory, I'm also left-handed, and I want to assume either Helm or Drama predominantly might have been left-handed, but this seems to be a common theme. So this is something that I'm kind of following up with now. This is at least the pattern I'm assuming, that he's saying he knows me, but I'm assuming it's not me specifically. It has to be Nadrama or Surbar that he's referring to. I'm just like, I would be like a fragment just enough for him to be like, oh, like, you're familiar.
But what would lead you to believe that this is a pattern that he is stuck to?
This is the second time that he's done this.
Sure.
For the most part. On top of that, I'm not sure if it's something having to do with the right side of the gem, but this seems like at least the way he's trying to burrow through the maze. This is also to help him to not get lost himself.
There are a couple of... I'm curious. This is mostly for everybody out there. Now, there are some context clues and some contextual bits that can help you here, but I'm eager to see if anybody has grasped what could be going on. Would you say that memory is a bit of a creature of habit?
Yeah, because it's... I mean, as the name implies, he remembers things. So, I mean, he remembers that taking the left side of something if you're ever lost in a maze, you follow the left side and you can find your way out. So
what do you know about the man hanging on the wall, or the man hanging in the room?
That Surbar Spellmason was left-handed, wasn't he?
No. You're thinking like backstory, right? You're thinking a lot of backstory. In the backstory, all you know is that Surbar Spellmason was arguably the most talented spellcaster in the world. He like single-handedly defeated full armies with his abilities. But in that room, he was just a man that only knew his name. Why did he only know his name?
He might have asked the demon something that he didn't know, or the demon is actually part of Surbar himself, and it's a manifestation of his own memories. So like while that demon or this entity's in the gem, I'm seeing like his trace of where he's going, but it's only appearing on the left side because it's like you said, it's a creature of habit.
Let me ask you a question. This is for Ronald here, for Xander. What is the most important thing to a wizard?
His
They're lightning fingers.
I mean, assuming it'd be his hands to cast, but it would be his focus, his book, his spell book.
But if you're so powerful and so strong that you no longer need a book,
It would be your mind.
your mind, your memory. Imagine being a wizard with dementia. Now imagine being the most powerful wizard in the world with dementia. Wouldn't you have fail-safes or something like that into place to stop you from losing your mind?
Yeah.
Arguably. Now knowing that, would you say that this creature is a creature of habit? And the place that you're wandering, the Ruby Halls, is a lot less of a gem. The halls are curved.
Oh, like it's actually Spellmason's mind? Like this is like a fails. Like I'm actually in a manifestation.
You Jimmy Neutron into
I'm
his
gonna
brain.
I'm gonna in a magical crystallized form of the most powerful wizard's mind.
Or his brain.
Be walking through.
That's
his
what I'm saying.
tentacles.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm literally walking through the mind of Cerebar Spellmason, or a manifestation of it.
Why do you think you keep seeing the images on the walls? Why do you think the
'Cause
walls are twisted and distended in ways that look ridged? It's not flat surfaces, that it's actually
rounded.
ridged.
Oh yeah. So, I mean, if that's the case, then he's a prisoner in his own mind right now. He locked himself away to prevent something from happening.
Do you think
'cause
he
he
locked
said-
himself away?
Either he did or someone else did, because we found his body and technically his mind are now separated. So the vessel wasn't dead. That's the thing. It was in a stasis. So same thing with his mind. It's in a crystallized form, also kept in a hidden chamber. So either someone, like you said, someone imprisoned him, which was one of the which was a Stonehaven family, if they're the ones that made the prison. Yeah, because both locks were stone based. It was under the chisels behind the fucking stone mural thing, and then we found this in a Stonehaven chest. So I'm assuming this has to do with the Stonehavens either helping Nab and trying to get some form of supremacy in blood rights, or yeah.
What if the Stonehavens were helping Spellmason?
That too. I mean,
from
that's also
fail-saving? Yeah.
that's true as well.
Like they might be working with Spellmason to stop himself from going all, "Hey, kids, get off my lawn!" and then meteoring an entire town.
That knowledge in mind, I ask another question. The most informed, intellectual, well-read wizard in the world, who has likely not only invented his own magic, but has learned every available spell and piece of information. What do you think is more interesting to him? What do you think would draw his attention more? What is beyond his imagination?
Ability to not be an old fuck.
I mean, that's being like a god transcending your mortal form.
And if you can't be a god, if you can't join him, you can't beat him. Why not learn him?
Those boys a whole library of information.
So I ask you, do you continue walking each hall, hoping to find a creature hiding? that I believe you may have pieced together that it is the functional memory of Surabar Spellmason. Or do you wait? Think about how long Surabar has been here. This creature would have never been found by you if it didn't want to be found by you. It's playing a game. What does Ulhime do?
So then he's not actually hiding. Well, he's hiding, but he's kind of just walking with me if that's the case. He's leading me back and forth to this place.
He's showing you memories.
Yeah.
Now you can walk all 12 hallways. At least all 12 main corridors.
Yeah.
You could wait. You could wait it out. There's a number of things that you can do, but that's overall your decision. But you have to make a decision fast. Because we're running out of night.
Because then it's not me actually chasing. It would be a failsafe for someone here. At least that's what I'm thinking. It would be a failsafe to chase something like this and just get random questions. So then instead of going in, I would wait for the demon and then I would ask, let's see, how am I going to word this? Tell me what you know of Surabar Spellmason. I'll say that out loud.
So what does this look like narratively? When you enter the hall, what do you do?
So it's kind of like as we're kind of having that, he's kind of having that revelation, realizing like why 12 rooms? Why only 12 chances? That doesn't make, thinking about it doesn't make sense. It would be thinking like, okay, well, I could have asked for the way out and it would have told me, but then if that's the case, then why keep him here? So also realizing that this creature's been behind me the entire time, thinking about how he's showed up. I'm not chasing him at all because I don't think it matters what room I go into. He's gonna just show up there. I'm kind of just following off of an unusual instinct.
Sure.
So he's here. If that's the case, he's already here. He's just waiting. So if that's the case, I can call out to him and he should respond.
So do you just like stand? Do you bolt down a hall? Do you sit down? What does this look like?
Yeah, if that's the case, I would look down and just at the floor, not even at Surabar, because I'm not even sure that might even actually be him. It could just be a manifestation that I'm getting a perception at because I jumped through it, nothing happened. So I would look just down at the floor and just say, "You can stop hiding. I have other questions I want to ask you, Surabar."
You hear multiple bits of cracking from all around you. Spots, hallways seem to echo. They ring downward as it sounds like cracking glass around you. The ruby never moves. It doesn't ever change. But where you're looking, probably 2 or so feet in front of you, there you see the eyes appear. The 5 ruby eyes. No pupil, nothing, just the orb itself. The hands sort of reach out, grab onto the ground, and pull itself up and manifest in front of you like a puppet.
What's your question? What you know? What you need to know?
I need to know about Surabar Spellmason's last moments.
The eyes take a moment as he seems to be standing, waiting to take action, like he's a figure, just stoned and undisturbed. And then you see like one eye catch downward to blink and another. And then the shoulders slump. Something you haven't really seen, just like this almost exasperated motion.
Lonely. They were lonely.
Suraba. I. Him. Me. We face our end. But no. Strong. Strong. He called himself
Abthetor.
He stood tall. His claws cut army men. They fall. Blood as far as my eyes could see. If you free Suraba,
Memory dies.
Then why not let me take those memories? You can come with me.
but leaving here, memory free, roam, Ruby Halls, see all things, all time, and must make me to protect. So I stop those that come wishing to take his precious mind. He say, when make me.
When they come for you, you will hide. For with my knowledge, they will dominate all the men.
So I hide. But then nab the Torah. He take and he rap many times. No more fire. No more sun.
No light to guide the paths the men seek.
We hide here for many time.
And you don't think it's time to stop hiding? If you need a vessel to use, and he kind of like shoulders himself, you can use me. You can see the world through my eyes if you need to.
But if you use, then soul dies. His body gone, it buried. But where his there?
And he points upward.
His soul stands. And I is mine. I, he, it. Body, mind, and soul.
His body is here in Cauldron. At the very least, you can borrow my body as a conduit to store yourself. if you wish to be returned to that body, I can try to help you.
No,
But I cannot
no,
promise anything.
no. You cannot take. You have bring Suraba body, and you have to free. Break chains with blood of not your family.
Not your kin.
I can try and do as you ask.
The 20 chain.
It marks the memories of the races.
That he encountered, that he find, and he helped, and they turn.
They turned on him. Every blood touched.
Turn their backs. They left him here. They let...
Now Vertoren.
Take him. And I was made to protect, to hold, so no one could get. Bring back.
Bring body of Suraba. Put
Mind.
soul.
And body back. You recreate. The gift to man.
A gift to man.
I will do what I can, but I cannot do it here. Show me the way out.
No way out. No way out. Only. Outside. Outside. They free. Not you. You stuck. You stay here with memory.
Forever. You can never leave.
It's not so bad. We play games. Soraba, he learned so many games.
Teach me what he knew about these demons. Teach me about the magic. Teach me about the memories and information that he garnered about these families that betrayed him.
No, it's not mine. Not mine to give to you. It was part of my make.
I can't give you nothing that belongs to me. You cannot have me. I simply am because of he.
And the puppet of Ruby falls. Limp, no longer phasing through the ruby. The hallways close. The room widens. It's now probably a 30 by 30 room. Various flashes of images pop up before you, people that you've never seen, you've never encountered, but nothing that you're aware of. The camera's gonna turn back. It faces our three heroes. Those that will surely not at all let us down and solve this problem.
My eyes. So, still, am I still blind? Has 3 hours passed?
Dude, it's been like 15 minutes.
Okay.
You got a minute. Or 3.
All right.
We got him a
Jakob,
stick.
Cort. Let's head to the nearest person that knows anything remotely arcana about whatever the hell this thing is, and see what
I
we can do.
believe that what we must do is start with the Lady Sasha. We may be in her debt, but perhaps the situation, perhaps the interest and intrigue would be enough to go ahead and spark her interest. If nothing else, we can certainly go ahead and try and work in trade, but I believe she would be our best chance of being someone knowledgeable enough to possibly decipher this spell at least. Should she turn us away, I fear we have no other choice or recourse than to speak with my father-in-law, mother's husband.
We could still try Keegan.
Keegan Gelv is not... He's not a spellcaster.
He has a magical rat.
Let's
And
just take
he's
this.
a locksmith.
He can be our third option.
I'm just gonna
prefer
stand
to
up.
go to him before your dad, personally.
Let's talk to the
I'm
most
not
reliable
talking
person.
Neb the Tauren,
Cort,
I'm talking the mayor. but-
You know at the very least, forgive me for interrupting here, but you know at the very least, your adventuring party has so many debts to Sasha. If she came and
Oh, yeah,
demanded that you lick the taint of every person in the town, there isn't a single one of you that could even attempt to fight it.
That's just the price you gotta do.
Now, you don't owe anything to Keegan. In fact, you've paid all your debts to him. He's a free and clear agent. More than anything, he is totally down to monitor you in any case.
Yeah, he made me a robot. He's kind of down to look over me.
Well, I mean, you're interesting to him.
Yeah, the washboard abs will do that to it. In any case, I think we should try Keegan first. We already owe Sasha a lot. She still hasn't even really called on me for the favor I owe her yet. And he's gonna kind of look at Daniel. You're probably the only person in the city she doesn't have anything on, and that's just because you're new.
I ain't one to have many debts with people. It's bad blood for my kind of business, and I like to keep it that way. Let's
What is
check
your
out-
business?
a story for another day, but let's go check out your friend Keegan while we still have time. I don't know how much time your friend really has, or how much time has even passed for him. I mean, we don't know where or what he's in for that matter.
Trust me. He could be in there for eons and he probably wouldn't change very much.
Eons
gonna-
that have passed for him, though, is also the problem.
But that having been said, all right, Cort, we can go ahead and see Keegan first.
Cort's gonna look down the hallway towards the chains of vibingness, and
If
Should we
you'd
just-
like, you're welcome to go ahead and try and move the stone.
well, should we just leave it here? What if what if Kiana comes?
Well, Kiana wouldn't enter without welcome, I think. But
Cort's gonna turn his head and look at the giant door that we have now, suddenly bolted to our bathhouse.
Could just throw a blanket over it, say it's a lamp.
as is, I can't touch it. The last person who did was absorbed. If you'd like to go ahead and take the chance, certainly. You can go ahead and try and loosen the gem, loosen the stone from its chains, as they don't seem to affect you, or see if you can enclose it in the box and move the box with it.
Cort's gonna think for a moment.
Well, I can't exactly see anything for that matter right now, so if it's as volatile as it looks, I mean, it's been.
What if someone runs up and like tries to steal it, thinking it's something different?
Well, that's on them to try to either get out or get blasted or whipped or whatever else we've
Well,
experienced.
We shouldn't just leave that then for some random person to come into.
How
Well,
about
Cort,
you? How about you
what
just
do you
get the original
suggest?
box?
We have a blind man, you, and me.
Is the box still there, Bubs?
Yeah, it's still there.
If anything, we just put it back in
I mean,
its box and carry it that way.
It's in pieces.
Oh, never mind.
It was destroyed.
Gotcha.
So,
No box.
what do you suggest? I stay here and you lead the blind man?
Cort's gonna kind of look at Daniel. Should I just go by myself and
No,
watch him, or
if things are as delicate as they sound, you might need someone that's a little bit more diplomatic with handling situations.
At this point, taking out, his belt knife, he is going to cut the page free of the journal and just hold it out to Cort. I'll stay and watch the stone. You lead Daniel to Keegan. You can tell him about what we've come across and show him these lines. If nothing else, he is a knowledgeable man. He might be able to point us in the right direction.
Settled.
yeah, Cort will take it and he'll go and grab his sword from across the room and just put it on his back, and then go pick up Daniel and.
Also on your back?
Yep, I'm just gonna just put him right on. I'm gonna give him a piggyback ride.
Sure.
I'll
I
have.
gotcha.
No, you don't have to do that. I'll just have my hand on his shoulder.
I'm gonna, before leaving, Cort's gonna turn around and just kind of say, "Try not to get sucked into the crystal or get stabbed or kill someone, okay?"
It happened once.
Cort's just gonna kind of look at him.
Okay, the stabbing only happened the once.
You guys got a cat problem in this bathhouse too?
Yeah, we have a lot of rats, and of course that brings on, cats aplenty. Which is
Fair
funny
enough.
considering that there's hardly any food left in the city at all. But that's neither here nor there. Hopefully I'll come to join you shortly once Thelsa is a little more responsive.
Cort will.
I think
I'm gonna-
perhaps she just is still in shock.
I'm gonna give a firm pat to Cort's shoulder, like, lead the way, buddy.
Cort will go on ahead and start on a walking.
Okay.
Cat, can I help you?
You know exactly where Keegan Gelbs is.
Yeah, I've been there.
Gelbs Locks is not far to find.
Ho, 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 who's this?
Arthur, thank you so much for bringing you and yours over, sir. I appreciate that. You lead Daniel over. Is there anything that you wanted to tell him about Keegan Gelf?
If he asks, probably, but otherwise, Cort might not really say anything too specific.
Okay.
If you give him a chance, he might be able to fix those eyes for you.
He has this great melon scooper.
Granted, they might, they might protrude a little and have a battery attached, but
You walk
We're
the
in the
path.
city, right?
Yes, you walk the path to Keegan.
Mhm.
You know exactly how to get there. There's no obstruction whatsoever. Nobody's going to stop you, especially since you have someone that you're sort of guiding along.
Just a normal shop.
Before you arrive at Keegan's, this
Fire.
place that seems to have been built at a bizarre vertical angle. It doesn't quite fit the normal pattern of a typical home. As declared, it is a black, almost arbalest-like stone that seems to cut and jagged and move its way up, almost like in the shape of a shoe. But before you can even ring or knock on the door swings 2 or 3 inches. And you see the nose and an eye of Keegan Gelf peering out at you. Cort?
Yes. I thought that was you. Yes, I thought I felt you coming.
Cort's gonna kind of look down. I'm not really sneaky these days.
No, you're not. Vibrating and as Daniel, this person, robed figure,
Daniel.
hooligan. Why are you
Nice to
so
meet you.
robed? Why it's daylight.
I value my discretion.
You have something.
As
You have
do
something
you,
to
it
hide.
looks like. Doesn't everybody?
Discretion. I hate thieves. Damn them all! Hate thieves. To the west.
No, he isn't a thief. When I actually met him, he actually found my gold for me on the floor and gave it to me.
Oh, do-gooder. Yes, likely story. Probably pocketed himself and felt bad for you, boy.
No, not exactly. I fell. A little clumsy. Not exactly familiar with this town. You know, a lot of debris on the floor, it looked like.
Give me a bluff. He's literally like the same role as you. Like he All right, dog.
Oh boy. This can't go horribly.
Oh my
Can't
god.
go
You know what?
horribly.
No, fuck that noise. I've got 3 luck rolls. I'm gonna use them. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I use mine?
I mean, technically, yeah. Go for it. We'll have a roll off. I'll fucking roll off all day long.
I hope you get 26. That would have been. Hey. Oh no! You're also muted. No! You ain't concealing this.
Yeah, I bet.
To my understanding, you've got one left.
All or nothing.
You only
I'm just
used
gonna-
the one earlier.
I'm just gonna kind of smile, be like, not very often I run into one of my own.
You don't trickster. You don't. I'm familiar. But speaking of, stop now! What are you waiting for? Come on!
You hear the same like as you see this like rat crawl up on the shoulder and like kind of mess with his face a little bit. And there's a rat that has like 2 rear mechanical legs.
Keegan, I don't really mean to bother you, but he's gonna kind of like ruffle in his pocket and he's gonna pull out the page. We're kind of having an issue. He's gonna hand it over to him. You remember our dwarf friend? And he's gonna like about this high.
Yeah, with
Gold eyes.
golden eyes. Yeah, the one arm. He asked me.
Well,
He
now-
wanted me to make him an arm. Yes, yes.
You might have to make him 2 of them now.
2 arms.
The other one.
Why the hell would it do that?
Well, we found this crystal, and him and Thelsa were looking at it, and it exploded in chains that kind of whipped around.
You're
he's-
making no sense.
It's still in the bathhouse. The chains are still there too.
Your friend Ulhime channeled some energy into
He's not my friend. We're not friends.
acquaintance.
We're barely
He,
acquaintances. He's a customer at best.
Your customer decided to channel some energy into a crystal, and that crystal exploded into a bunch of chains, and he vanished.
It was a really big ruby.
Yeah.
You see Keegan's head sort of like look down at Starbrow. Starbrow just kind of looks back up at him, like their eyes meet, and like pokes his face like even more out.
Are you on drugs?
Can you come to the bathhouse and look? And he's gonna look around. I'm not, and I can't really drink too much.
It's swirling with different languages of magic. Might learn something if you take a look at it.
You could have led with that. I didn't need to hear the plight of knaves. I care not for your exuberant, mundane shit. It's drivel, but magic piqued my interest. Lead with that every time.
Cort will offer him a path through so he can walk.
Stop now! Let's go! And he like snaps, and Starbrow also like snaps up with him, and he comes out. You notice that like where he snaps, he has what looks to be like a white handkerchief tied around his hand. You can tell that he's been like bleeding from his fingertip, and it seems recent.
Oh boy.
I obviously can't see this, right?
Correct. I mean, unless you can hear the handkerchief.
And here, that his finger's tied off. You can hear the pulsing of the finger.
Well, why are you saying that? I'm serious. Are you actually on drugs? I'll contact the authority. Where is Crabclaw?
Well, he's at the bathhouse.
Isn't he lieutenant or something to Miss Green?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Your friend Scissors is guarding the ruby that you described.
Scissors, that's good. I like it. This one's funny. It's unfortunate that he's blind. Are you in the market for new eyes? I can fix that.
My eyes are plenty fine. They'll recover. Just not anytime soon.
I can fix that.
And what's your price?
How much you got?
Monetarily, nothing. Skill-wise, what are you after?
I'm old and I need money. Unless you can
Let
make
me-
me young. I don't care for shit.
Cort's
Money.
gonna reach into his coin purse and pull out 5 gold. Is this enough?
Put your petty change away, boys. We're talking about exchanging his eyes.
Cort's just gonna kind of.
What was that? 5?
How much does it cost?
Are we there yet?
Cort will keep walking.
You walk on. You kind of meet his pace. He's not fast. Again, he's old, and he's a gnome. But he walks on. You finally make it back to the bathhouse. He's not interested in your paltry offers. He's still interested in replacing your eyes, largely for the fact that he has no fucks left to give in his age. He has more or less reached venerable years for a gnome. And he is certainly... what's the word? What's the word that I want to say? He's fantastic. We'll just say that. He's fantastic. So, do you take him back to the rear room?
Yep. Well, say hi to Sniper on the way through. That way he can mock him.
Okay.
As we're going in, be like, just be careful. If you read it, you go. If you try to read the magic, you go blind, and if you cast energy at it, crazy ass chains come out. So, those are the 2 things we've found out so far.
Noted. I'll try not to do that.
And here I'm gonna do. Wait, who has the note with the?
Cort does.
Oh, Cort.
Yeah, Cort.
Sure
Cort.
as fuck wouldn't be you.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have paper.
Allow me to
Cort.
read this note 3 hours from now.
Right? Cort, you mind showing him what we wrote down?
Cort will hand it over to him.
He takes a look. Are we is
It was.
this
It's inscribed on the gem.
a riddle? Are we doing riddles now?
If it's a riddle, it's carved into the gem.
It's carved into the that would render something valuable as garbage, rubbish.
Carved with magic, more or less. It's surrounding the gem. According to our friend Jakob, it's surrounding it. That's only the first side of it. If you can find a way to read the other side, then you can probably finish what the story says or whatever that says.
Well, to take me back to this magical ruby, then.
Cort will walk him to the back room.
Okay, so the way that this gem is centered in the room, it's about 8 feet off of the ground. You guys are capable of just like reaching up, and you can't pull it down because it's anchored into one spot.
Space. Yeah.
He is only
I'll hold him up
like
if he needs it.
2'9".
Yeah, I will literally pick him up and hold him if he needs it.
Sure. And he will. In fact, it's likely that he'll walk up to it and he's like, yeah, it's very far away.
Yeah, and Cort would just kind of look down, grab him by the sides, and then just
should have brought my stool.
Just lift him up.
Yeah, Jakob will kind of glance over. You want my chair? Seeing as he's keeping an eye on the gem, he's just in the room to the right of the door, sitting down and, just pondering the gem.
As they're all doing that,
reading the magic patterns, tapping his writing stick along the pages on his lap.
As they're doing all that, I'm just going to yell from the other room, I'll be lookout.
No, he won't. He's blind. He's a damn liar. He's a thief and a liar. You should remove him. Dispatch of him. He'll weigh you down. Or steal your purse.
Well, we met him earlier today, and he still didn't steal my purse. You saw that.
Perfect. You're not attached. Stab him in the throat.
I mean...
Well, Keegan, much as I would love to go ahead and indulge you, I am the lieutenant of the guard.
While holding up Keegan, he's going to kind of look at Sniper. I mean, he already kind of put his claw hand around his throat.
Snip, snip, scissors. What are you waiting on?
You are... Cort, what did we do to somehow make a homicidal gnome?
What makes me homicidal?
Snip, snip.
I don't see a problem
joke,
here.
You wouldn't understand.
Yes, the voluntary murder of an individual is...
I don't expect you to understand. It's something about youth. You just... you youths just don't understand age and the how time affects the mind and how everything that matters to you doesn't matter at all to me.
How long is an elf's generation?
Why does that matter? That's a bizarre out of nowhere question.
It's part of the riddle.
And deeply personal question at that. How dare you, Cort?
Well, he's not a gnome.
I can hear this, right?
I am a gnome. Are you also blind?
I meant
Jacob, he looks over to you and he goes and he points like in the direction of Daniel and now at Cort.
It was part of
him.
The riddle said something about 3 elves generations. How long is that supposed to be? Is that like 100 years?
Elves don't live for 100 years. An elf's lifespan is insurmountable. They don't live forever, but I've never heard of one. Well, I have heard of one living to 1,000. But
So what do you think the
should be
generation?
like spoiled milk, just wrinkles and nasty. Not like gnomes. Gnomes, when they age like fine wine.
How old do you guys get?
Rude.
Cort, do you not understand this is like asking a woman what her weight is?
Cort's just gonna kind of confusedly hold him in the air still.
Just show the man the gemstone.
He's holding him up to it like you're holding, like, I don't know, holding him to a light bulb. There you go.
Gotcha. So you're Lion Kinging him off Pride Rock.
Yeah, I literally just picked him up and I'm just, there you go, sir. Go ahead and look at it.
The way you're holding him right now is just it's funny in my mind. I want him to look back and be like, "Will you be my bodyguard?" Like,
Wow.
oh man. But he seems to be peering at it, and like he flips down the group of glasses. Starbrow's even like trying to like.
Yeah, and if he's like, get
looking at
closer,
it.
I'll just like.
And does he tells you to inch closer, and
He's don't smack his face into the gemstone.
he grabs onto the ruby, and it looks bizarre, right? Because he's a small person, he's got small hands, but his fingers are very stumpy by design. And when he seems to grab up on it with his other hand, he just starts like he's focusing on it. Cort, give me a perception, please.
Hey, that's a thing I'm not good at. Where is this? I'm gonna do this.
Sure, let's see what you got. It can get worse.
And apparently, you know what? There we go.
Much better. Where originally you had noticed that his hand, his left hand had this handkerchief that was bound up around the finger, and you saw the blood. When he touches the ruby, you notice the blood stain on the handkerchief disappear. Ulhime, you notice a strip of light appears around the gem.
Oh shit.
One band removed.
Cort's gonna look up and say, "Hey, Keegan,
Quiet, I can't think.
wasn't your Then he'll wait.
A few more moments pass, and he says, "Now put me down. Put me down."
He'll lower him.
Well, I believe you've stumbled onto a very old instrument, and I don't know how you found this, but it's interesting.
To say the least. You might also find this interesting. And Jacob's going to kind of like reach out and set his forearm on one of the chains for a moment before lifting it away to show that, you know, there's a burn.
He glances down at his hands, particularly the hand with a cut, the one that you were trying to warn him about.
Yeah, and Cort's gonna. If your hand was bleeding before, wasn't it?
Yeah, yes.
That's when I was trying to get your attention. It looks like there's not a lot of blood there anymore.
Cort, do you look down again at his hand?
Yeah.
His finger is missing. His eyes train back up on you, and he lifts the mechanics of the apparatus. It's... Oh no.
So wait.
It's a...
He went from having 10 fingers to 9?
Yeah.
It's a... The fading And he
Everything
starts
all
to
right over
lift. He starts to lift his hand, and
Oh,
you
he's
you
fully
can
despairing,
see
isn't
his fingers starting to dust away.
God damn it, Thanos!
It was a bloodstone.
What is?
And as he begins to say that, Starbrow actually starts to slip and fall through his body. The clothes topple to the ground. The helmet fall as well. The belt, the shoes remain, and Starbrow frantically begins turning, spinning in multiple directions. And he just looks up at you, and you just see like this, almost like grabbing prayer motion, just this.
Who made the suggestion to go see Keegan?
Yeah, that fucking Daniel dude, right? Like, honestly, snip, snip. Am I right?
And this is where we end tonight's session.
Hey, Steven, you got your first kill.
It sounds. What the heck? I wonder if he got like absorbed into it too. Then
I don't think he got absorbed into it. I think he
Yeah,
got.
I think that shit killed him, bro.
He's not feeling so good, Mr. Stark.
I just want to point out, I didn't do anything to make this happen.
Okay, you would have brought Sasha, and that could not have ended well.
I would think Sasha would have been wise enough not to touch the damn thing.
Bro, the amount of XP if we killed Sasha, oh my god.
It's the same scenario, but replace Keegan with Sasha, and at the very end, Ron's just like, "So, Bub, do we level up after that?"
It's like
You did just kill an elder dragon, right?
it's like 2 level.
that's crazy.
I'm like, Nab, give this thing a high five. Watch, and I'm like 3 levels.
So that was, you said it was a bloodstone?
A bloodstone.
Yeah.
And then he disintegrated. He said he was fading, right? That's what it was. The fade.
Yeah.
He was
That's the
getting that sick like fade.
He basically, just got Thanos snapped.
So,
It
when
was
he
just
didn't
like-
even-
Does nobody remember?
He didn't even line up his hair.
This is a very
Oh, I
very
know.
old bit.
It
It's an
happened
old bit
before.
of lore.
When he was fading, was there like he was becoming dust or just like vanishing as
He
this was
was-
happening?
He was being destroyed.
Wow.
He said, it's fading. I'm
Yeah,
fading.
It's the fading.
It's yeah.
the fading, and then it's a bloodstone, and then
A long time
don't
ago.
look at me. I think this was probably well before my time.
A long time ago, before you guys traveled into a particular layer where you discovered Chasmogen, smuggling children, Keegan had to let you through and he refused. He said he wouldn't go down himself
yeah.
because the secrets of the gnomes were down there and the secrets of the vanishing. The vanishing is what wiped out 17% of the population
Oh boy.
of Cauldron. Those were all gnomes.
Oh boy.
Now there is less than 1% of the population that's gnomes.
Oh yeah.
And you just killed it.
Yeah, getting smaller now. Funnily enough. That's not good. All right, it looks like we
I
have to go.
genuinely feel bad about that. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's not even
Thanks.
like a. It's
Oh, man.
it's like
It's not you that made that suggestion, so it's not you. You don't
Don't put that juju on me.
no, because it's like, even with like the small snippet of like haha, like I had that like little bit of camaraderie, like, oh, it's a fellow thief, that's cool, and like just to see that happen, I was like, dang.
I know,
Oh
but
God!
Yeah,
No! I can imagine Daniel just kind of standing out there like,
I know,
Everything
Bub.
okay?
Well, no, I didn't see it. All I heard was just him saying like it's the fading.
Oh,
so
I'm
like I didn't
dying.
see what happened to him.
You want
I
to know?
just-
You want to know something weird, a little wild for you?
What's
And I know
up?
that some of you are not going to be surprised, but others will. I had no idea what I was doing in today's session, and none of this was planned.
I mean, never.
I
What
felt
is
it,
the-
but I mean, you kind of always say roll with it, so I'm kind of just trying to roll with what you roll with. So
let's be quite
Yeah.
honest, Bub. Even if you did have a plan, we would have completely fucked it within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean that's our normal.
You know,
Did this feel better for you then, or was it like
A lot of the plan material, I'll play in 5 or 6 ways, and my regular group would find ways 7, 8, and 9 every time.
Yep.
And they would basically like rub their balls all over plans 1 through 6. So
you
this,
plan, parties laugh.
yeah. So this was me just spitballing. This idea kind of came out of nowhere.
You kind of had to. I mean, unless you're gonna make like some fucking imaginary map of like the human mind, I wasn't gonna like be like, "Where's the map, Bob? Where is it?"
Come on,
it's
Bob,
like
you
obviously
prepared
like
this.
like that to me made sense. Like you had to.
The hard part for me was trying to explain that this wasn't just a ruby maze, that you weren't trapped inside of a ruby.
Yeah, it made sense when you said the left side, because I was like, oh wait, the left side of the mind is what controls like memory. So I kind of was like, I think that's what it is. I'm hoping that's right, and then kind of going off of, well, it's a gem. Hopefully, I can recognize subtle irregularities for this thing traveling through.
Do you know what? Do you know about how large the brain is?
Actual size? No.
About the size of a grapefruit.
I've been traveling.
Well, okay. For most people, it's the size of a grapefruit.
You know what else was the size of a grapefruit? And do not say the prostate of Sniper.
You gotta get that part checked out then.
What?
The ruby.
Oh, the actual ruby itself is. Okay, I see what you're saying. I thought you were trying to like lead into something with that, but yeah, you made a mention of that before.
My
I still
prostate?
feel bad about the gnome.
Really?
I don't know the kind of things that
I
you do
mean,
in
my
your
left
private time.
nut, maybe. But
I was gonna say, Bubs. I was like, at least give Steven like 2 sessions before you cut a character that he's gonna have a bond with, you know?
Honestly, I wasn't even gonna let it happen, but when I knew, like, the thing was, it was coming up, right? The moment that he let out the information of there were 20 chains, and the chains needed to be broke by the blood of older families that are not your kin, I knew that there would have to be a gnome. And I know that you guys don't know any other gnome.
Yeah, it would have happened at some point.
It would have happened at some point. I didn't know it was going to happen tonight, but the moment that Cort was like, we could try Keegan, I was like, oh fuck, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? Are we doing this?
See, like, and this poses the worst issue. We have to get 6 more sacrifices now.
6?
no,
There are
19.
20
You need
chains.
19 more.
Don't remind me.
Question.
But you don't actually know. You don't actually know that it's going to kill people.
Yeah. Well,
You
we-
also,
Well, wait,
I want to
think
pose
I think
this.
Right now we have a pretty good idea.
I want to pose this.
We don't know if that fucking did anything.
You don't know if the vanishing stopped with Keegan.
Yeah. I could have
Like
just,
it-
I could just knocked out. No, I just could have just knocked out the entire fucking gnome race there.
The
we could have
vanishing
just
is-
jump started their plague.
The vanishing is actually Malzahar's E, and it just popped on.
Yeah, it just popped on Keegan, and yeah, he died. So now it's going to the next minion.
Should I make a temp character for now then, or
No, not at all. I think there's still more for you to gain, especially when the chains start unbinding.
You get to
It's
be-
important
get
for you
be
to
fun.
learn. You're going to need to learn about why that chain was bound. This information will come out. Remember, you're inside the memory of the man that made whatever this was. These chains were bound here for a reason. But you don't know why this was here to begin with.
all right?
He's
I didn't know
also
if it was-
torturing. He's torturing himself within his own mind, which is another
mean,
thing.
Bear in mind,
we
you guys
don't know
you can split party, and you could potentially go get blood, but you don't know what it's going to mean. You also don't know.
Well, like we don't know if that's. We just from our side, we didn't get the blood sample accepted.
You don't
we didn't-
you don't know exactly like what the purpose was, or
He just touched it and fucking died.
you have no idea what the gnome's story was.
We have to go fucking.
You know what you
to the
guys didn't
library-
find
oh,
out?
Wait a minute.
You know what Keegan talked about?
What's up?
Keegan said that the vanishing stopped one day and they don't know why.
Oh, because one of the gnomes bound themselves, and I think that's kind of what put it in that stasis. So he.
I think we just restarted it.
Hey guys, we kickstarted a small apocalypse getting because they're gnomes and they're small. and they're all dying because of us, so it's a small apocalypse.
Why is it that we always manage to go
Would
ahead
you-
and...
Would you say that it's small?
Okay.
It's just a
Hopefully-
tiny bit of humor.
Look, Ronald, are you trying to
a
say that
little
we're
bit
only?
of death?
You're saying that we're only committing a small-scale genocide?
Exactly.
Oh God.
We're going to hell. We're going to hell.
It's just a little murder.
Are we the baddies?
You hear that, chat?
A little bit. Got him.
Hey, it was a small
Yeah,
sacrifice.
go with that, Christy. Go with that, Christy. All right, guys. I'm going to end stream here before I kill myself. Because I feel like it's about to be
Catch
supper
you in a
time.
little bit.
Yeah. I'll be over in the Discord very soon. Make sure you guys check out all the ways to keep this place afloat. You know what I mean? Make sure you've hit the follow button. If you've not followed, you're missing out on an opportunity on some cool stuff. Got lots more tabletop coming. Plus, well, I'm doing all kinds of things. Right now, I've got Stitch of Fate. Shackled City's made its return. The Alien Awakening show will be happening in just a couple of weeks. I'm working on a campaign right now that I'm going to bring to stream, and there's not really much anybody can say about it. It's going to happen. So, I would hope that you guys want to come over to Discord, check out the Twitter, check out our Instagram. Instagram has been quiet a lot lately. That's my own fault. So, I appreciate you all for doing the damn thing. Love your faces. Do what you do. Stay safe. Stay nerdy. If you want to keep the stream alive, keep the dream alive. Go support on Patreon, even at the $5 level. It means a lot. I'll talk with y'all later. We're out of here. Peace.